Welcome back to our Tech Vibe podcast. Today we have a really cool guest with us from our friends at Comcast Business. We do a ton of podcasts with these guys because they're always hooking us up with the latest information to keep us safe, to keep us connected, and everything in between. We most recently talked to Dan Shetterly from the Comcast Business team about the Comcast Business 2024 Cybersecurity Threat Report, which really blew my mind. I mean, it was absolutely fascinating to hear about some of the most common types of attacks, why spikes in cyber attacks are occurring, and the tools that are available to protect large companies from a breach. But today, with Small Business Saturday just around the corner, which is crazy, I don't know how it became like the end of November almost. I'm excited to welcome David Proctor to the show to learn more about his territory of powering and protecting small businesses. And David, I know it's so cool. You're new to the team. I'm just really glad to have a chance to meet you and interview you and add you to our growing list of great podcasts. So thanks for being with us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Good stuff, man. So let's start by getting to know you. This is always my best part. I want our listeners to know what you're all about because Comcast is all about its people, right? That's what
Yep.
it comes down to for me. So this is your first time on the show, and as a new member of the team, like what was the experience that led you to your current role with Comcast Business?
Yeah, so I've been holding different leadership positions in the tech space now for the last 25 years, really living in many different parts of the country and getting to know various aspects of our industry. I joined the Comcast team as director of sales for small business in the Keystone region, based here in Pittsburgh a few months ago, and I'm getting to learn about the small businesses in the areas, talking to business owners, and getting to understand their needs and helping them find the best solutions.
Yeah, are you new to the Pittsburgh area? Has this been your home for a while?
No, new to the Pittsburgh area. I've been
Really?
here about about the same time I started in the Keystone area, about 3.5 months, and absolutely loved it. And soon my wife will be relocating, so my household will double here after the first of the year. But no, it's been great. I love
I
the
love
city.
it, man.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So, I mean, what was it about joining the Comcast team that was so exciting for you?
Yeah, I'm so grateful. The team is awesome. I've got a great group of managers, outstanding sales reps who really help our customers achieve their goals and get the solutions they need to operate seamlessly each day. I really loved how advanced, trusted, and widely used the technology with Comcast is.
Cool.
And when presented with issues from small business customers, I know we have the products and solutions available to address their needs.
That's always been my favorite thing about hanging out with you guys is that, yeah, you work with the super big guys, but that same technology, it just drills right down to the small guys and small business is your jam. So I think that's
That's
really
right.
cool. It gets me really fired up. So every day you're looking forward to coming to work because you're helping these small businesses stay safe.
Absolutely. And what people don't realize is cyber attacks aren't really only geared for the Fortune 500 companies like they once were. 2021, 61% of small businesses were target of a cyber attack. And those breaches on average cost $3 million per incident. So that's a major impact. And I also want to make sure we understand how prominent small businesses are in our local economies. Small businesses make up 99.9% of all US businesses. That is a huge number. And small businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs. They foster local employment and economic development. And so those statistics showcase the importance of keeping small businesses connected, safe, and protected so they can continue operating daily and stay focused on selling.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, that really goes to show just, I mean, when we say 99.9, like that I was thinking maybe you'd say like 80% or
Right,
something
right.
like that. But it's like, no, it's like that many. So I feel like there's more pressure on you than the guys that are doing the enterprise stuff.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, and there's a few reasons why. Really, hackers know that even the smallest companies are obtaining data that is easy to offload for profit, like medical records, credit card information, social security numbers. This information can be used to make fraudulent purchases, or it can be sold to other criminals who will use it for malicious reasons. So, small businesses have information that is of value to hackers. And,
Yeah.
and another thing is that most small businesses are connected to other large companies, and so a lot of the hackers find a way into the larger companies through the small businesses out in the community.
I hear about that so much. I mean, the way a small guy plugs into a supply chain to a larger person, and they use them as kind of the way in the back door to get to the larger person. I mean, I think we saw it here in Pittsburgh many years ago with the infamous like Target hack, and it's just like, oh my gosh, yeah, it's real, and especially that's why I mean, especially as we have small business day kind of rolling up on us. So many of these businesses, as we get into the holiday season, like their internet activity is going to be spiking because of people going to their websites and so forth. So it makes it an even more perfect time for these folks to kind of sleuth their way in with all this extra activity that they're going to be
Yeah,
seeing on their
interesting
network.
stuff,
So
right?
that's why I love it, because
Absolutely.
I just love the fact that small businesses are our backbone and that you guys can keep them safe and everything that's going on out there. So like, I mean, really like, what is at stake for a small business out there? 'Cause, I mean, you mentioned before that a hack could be like worth $3 million, but even if someone brings your system down for like an hour, that could be a loss of a hunk of sales, or it could be something that takes you down for a very long time. I mean, it seems like there's a lot that can happen, and that's why people. I always say like, you got to work with the pros with the right systems and setups. You can't do this yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just think about your favorite small business. It could be a local barber, catering company, dry cleaner, you name it. Now imagine how detrimental it would be if those businesses were unable to operate for a week, 2 weeks, or even a month.
Yeah.
Small businesses don't have the scale to weather a storm of that capacity, and it'll quickly impact their bottom line. We with Comcast Business did a 2023 small business cybersecurity report, and over 45% of small businesses reported a loss in revenue due to cybercrimes.
You got to tell me more about the actual impact on small businesses, after a cyber attack and what that really means. Because I'm sure there's got to be some just startling, stifling
Yep.
information around this.
Yeah, absolutely. So while the recovery period is costly, these incidents can also stifle business and destroy trust with customers. According to that same Comcast Business report, more than 30% of businesses lost customer trust or had difficulty responding to customer concerns following an attack. So even though the stories that you often hear in the news about cyber breaches are about the large companies that we all recognize, cybersecurity impacts small businesses just as often as large ones, and even more can be on the line for these solo entrepreneurs.
That's what I'm talking about. That is scary stuff. So
Absolutely.
thank you for providing that insight on that. That
Absolutely.
definitely is something to think about. Our cyber friends out there, our cyber hacking friends, excuse me, out there. Obviously, they probably have some special techniques and different strategies they use when they are targeting a small business as opposed to a larger business. What should a small business owner be thinking about there to maybe spot some sort of activity?
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, that's a great question. Yes. First of all, small business owners need to know that cyber crimes aren't just driven by individual bad guys sitting in basements, which a lot of people think. These are attacks carried out by online organized crime groups that consider the work relatively low risk and high reward. And so the threat is serious. And when it comes to those type attacks, we see geared towards small businesses. You see phishing attacks, malware attacks, and bot attacks are the most common. And we call these the terrible three for small business.
Well, I like that. I never heard it put that way. They are the terrible
That's right.
three. And what's crazy is how quickly they evolve as well, too. I mean, they're able to keep, especially with the advent of AI in these days, I mean, they're able to really just specialize these and then can continually change them. So you
Yep.
never know how you're quite being hit, which makes it just be extra slippery and dangerous.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What are the first steps that a small business should be taking? I always say you got to have the right tools. It is not something, well, I'll just be careful on what I click on. It's like,
That's right.
you got to have the right tools. What are the steps that small business owners should be thinking about?
First, they need to evaluate what types of security measures they have in place. So if you're one of a lot of small businesses, they don't have any protocol in place. So you need to check that first. We would love for you to check out the small business section at business.comcast.com to see what
Okay.
tools are available for you now, and contact one of our local teams. We'd love to help.
That's what about. We're going to actually link that in the liner notes here because I want people to listen to this and then click on that and just start scrolling through it and getting ideas because it's like, I don't know. This is like a passion of mine over the almost 30 years I've been at the Tech Council. And I've just seen the evolution of this. And I've actually seen how Comcast has evolved over the years to meet these threats. And I'm always like, you're getting these very powerful tools and they can scale with you, which I think is just always a great thing to have. And that's why I'm always like, yeah, man, like you can be safe out there. You just got to take the right steps, arm yourself with some knowledge. I mean, what are some particular things that Comcast has that you think works really well for a small business out there? So, you're a 4 or 5 person shop. You want to make sure things are locked down. What are some of the key things you would instantly say, like, this is something you should be thinking about?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a product called Security Edge, and it helps protect internet users and all their connected devices against the threats we mentioned earlier: malware, ransomware, phishing, and bots. Right? Security Edge does this with advanced global threat intelligence that is updated every 5 minutes. It's constantly learning, responding, and improving. This tool offers protection for remote devices. It's easy to set up and allows you to monitor your network anytime, anywhere with a personalized dashboard and email reporting. And business can even set up personalized filters to block unwanted websites by employees and customers.
Well, so what I think of the issue about this is so like me as a small business owner, I can set this up myself, right? Once I have it in there, that
Absolutely.
dashboard, and I can go in there and just start messing with this. So you don't have to be you don't have to be a coder in order to go in and make this stuff work, right?
No, absolutely. A lot of these products that we offer are geared toward the small business that may not have an IT shop. It may be a shop, a company that has 4 or 5 employees, and maybe they're not tech savvy. These products, to your point, you don't need a coder, right? They can be done by anyone.
Yeah. So, I mean, first off, I can't thank you enough for hanging out with me today to talk about this because, as you say, we are on the eve of our small business day. And that's just a focus to realize that 99.9% of our businesses are small businesses and how just crucial they are to our economy. And the idea that they're some of the most vulnerable out there when it comes to cyber threats. I mean, what are some final takeaways? What are some things that maybe we haven't talked about that you feel like every small business owner should be thinking about to stay safe? Because we start thinking about 2025, this is a good time to say, I'm going to lock down I'm
That's
going to
right.
lock down my cybersecurity this year. Let's make it happen.
That's right. Yeah. And first of all, I appreciate the time today. I really do. But the first thing that they need to think about is the threat is real. The threat to your business is real, and you should take action now to protect it. A lot of small businesses think that cyber attacks won't happen to you, but in reality, small business is the ideal location for hackers. Comcast Business is trusted by over 2 million businesses every day. So take that next step to protect your business today and let our Comcast Business team help.
Well, 2 million businesses kind of impresses me.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking
That's
something's
right.
working pretty cool there. If you got 2 million people that are using this stuff, because people don't mess around. If something's not working for them, then they stop using it. It shows you just how powerful that Comcast tools are. And welcome to Pittsburgh. We're so glad to have you here to be
Oh,
part
glad
of
to
our
be here. Been
community.
here three
Yeah.
and a half months, and Pittsburgh is just an outstanding city. The people are great. I've enjoyed it and look forward to many more years.
Excellent. We're glad you're doing what you're doing. And of course, as you know, Pittsburgh has got some serious chops when it comes to all things cyber. I mean, we have some of the original foundational technologies that were developed here many, many years ago and that we continue to develop. And of course, with Comcast's strong presence here, it just continues. So once again, thanks so much for hanging out with me today, David. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you, Jonathan.
Awesome. You are the best. Once again, this is Jonathan Kirsting with the Pittsburgh Technology Council, having lots of conversations just like this with Comcast. We're here to arm you with great information to keep your business connected and super safe.